Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from PaulthePoke.com. Today's topic, Yom Teruah, Feast of Trumpets declared. We are the Hebrew year 5782, Gregorian year 2021, and we're going to touch on this a little later in this post. Oh, by the way, quakes in various places. Acapulco, Mexico. So, the new moon has been sighted in the evening of September 8th, 2021, and at least we can agree it's officially a new month. What cannot be agreed upon is whether or not it is Rosh Hashanah, also known as Yom Teruah, also known as Feast of Trumpets. Now, the Temple Institute and secular Jews have recognized Rosh Hashanah on September 6th based on their calculations. We're going to draw the distinction. Modern man and all his math and science have based Rosh Hashanah based on their calculations. The modern state of Israel declares this to be their civil new year and the beginning of their 7th month, Tishri 1. And now begins the confusion. That's kind of paradoxical in and of itself. 7th month, new year. Okay, 7th month's called Tishri, but it's the civil new year. Okay, just chew on that one for a while. And that's secular Israel. And frankly, some of the religious establishment, Temple Institute, Judaism, rabbis, and so forth. Brother Mark Harris from whenisthenewmoon.com have a different understanding. They have proclaimed the new moon to be the 6th month of Elul. And they have arrived at this based on looking at heads of barley back in the spring and determined that we are currently in the 6th month of Elul. Now, that's at odds with the modern day establishment over there of the Sanhedrin, the Temple Institute, rabbis, Judaism, and again, secular Israel. Again, more confusion. And not that this makes it truth or accuracy, but consensus Judaism has Rosh Hashanah starting September 6th, 2021 on a Western Gregorian calendar. Now, remember, the Gregorian calendar is a solar-based calendar. The Hebrew calendar is lunar-based. And Jews have utilized the following procedure every month for thousands of years. And at the end of a lunar cycle, the moon is dark and is not seen for 2 or 3 days. The new moon can be identified during this 2 to 3 day period. Of that day or hour, no one knows. So we have solar calendars, lunar calendars. We have people, even within those who are focused and based in a lunar calendar, cannot agree and have consensus on when the the months start, let alone what month is it. But the idea is the month begins at the sighting of the new moon. 2 witnesses have to confirm the sighting. Upon agreement, the 2 witnesses report to the high priest. When the new moon is confirmed, the trumpet or the shofar ram's horn is blown. So there's humanity taking a stab at telling time. As you can see, we have no consensus. Confusion reigns. And then God says this regarding his feast, Yom Teruah. Numbers 29, verse 1, now in the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, you shall also have a holy convocation. You shall do no laborious work. It will be to you a day for blowing trumpets. And you can also see this in Leviticus 23, verses 23 through 25. So God says it's the 7th month. Yom Teruah is in the 7th month. God declares the new year to take place in the spring. And this is from Exodus 12, verses 1 and 2. Now the Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, this month shall be the beginning of months for you. It is to be the 1st month of the year to you. and that would be Nisan or Abib. God says Nisan is the first month, or the new year. Man says, Jewish man, Jewish humanity, Jewish religious figures say the new year starts in the 7th month. So they are at odds with what God has to say about it. God says spring, humanity says fall. Okay. Now, at least I will acknowledge this. There are 2 calendars in Hebrew, in the Hebrew system. A civil calendar, which is the one they're following, with the new year starting in the fall, and then the religious calendar, where the new year starts in the spring, which is in alignment with what God has to say based on Exodus 12, verses 1 and 2. So you can just absolutely see all kinds of confusion in regards to telling time. Can't do it. Humanity just can't do it. And so, that makes the verse all the more relevant. Of that day or hour, no one knows, only the Father. Well, no kidding. Because humanity has shown no ability to read, comprehend, and follow directions whatsoever. So, here we are. We can know the season, but we can't know the hour of the day. We just can't do it. We can be in the ballpark. We can see things happening, realize it's coming, should be close. But any of these date setters out there who think they're going to nail it down based on calculations of some man-made calendar, they're just whistling Dixie. It isn't happening. And that's why date setters are totally defeated throughout the course of history. Only the Father knows. And we can be ready and we can know. I'm not going to argue that point. But nobody's going to tell me that they've figured it out. Which day? I mean, you can make some interesting arguments, but that's fine. Which takes us to today. And it makes you wonder right here if somebody's telling us, hey, this is the day that it starts. I don't know. Speculation, conjecture on my part. Take it or leave it. And Jesus said in Luke 21, verse 11, part A, there will be great earthquakes and in various places, famines and pestilences. And we have all of the above in today's world. We had a great earthquake in Acapulco, Mexico, and south of Mexico City, 230 miles or so. We'll get into that in just a second. And this is from the Mexico National News Twitter feed, Acapulco, Mexico. According to the National Seismological Service, the 7.1 magnitude earthquake was recorded 11 kilometers southwest of Acapulco on Tuesday. The governor of Guerrero, Hector Astudio, confirmed the death of one person after a pole fell in the municipality of Coyuca de Benitez in southwestern Mexico. The Federal Electricity Commission reported that 1.6 million people have been affected by power cuts. Of course, lots of damage was done, but this is fascinating. Check out these earthquake lights at the time of the quake, and this is viewed from Mexico City, approximately 200 miles away, 230 miles away. Lightning flashes across the sky in Mexico City after an earthquake hit the city of Acapulco, 230 miles away. There's no sound here. Some people think these are blowing transformers, but a lot of consensus out there, these are earthquake lights. And if you notice, they come from the ground. It's from the ground up. They emanate from the ground. And this is a feed from Sky News. And this is about 36 seconds of this. And this is as the earthquake was taking place, 230 miles away. You had all these lights coming up from the ground. Look like lightning. So, a little robo feed here. Very fascinating. Tons of them out there on Twitter. If you go to Twitter, type in Acapulco and lights, earthquake lights. Many people had their cameras out. There are even some in Acapulco and this same phenomena was taking place in and around Acapulco. It was bright, a little creepy, get your attention for darn sure. So anyhow, I'm gonna lean. I'm not gonna be dogmatic about it, but I think you can make a reasonable circumstantial argument that the Feast of Trumpets was proclaimed on the evening of September 8th, and here we are. So, if you back this up, is what it is. So make your own determination, make your own judgment. At any rate, it's fall feast season. Arguably, this is the beginning of a sabbatical year or a Shemitah year. We're going to talk about that once we get through the fall feasts. But this is a 2-day celebration, and let's just see what happens. So, at any rate, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I expect some things to be happening. Who knows what, but this time of the year is always interesting, especially in and around these feasts, the Lord's feasts. Take her easy. Have a good one. Bye.